This is a Canada Valve Century fire hydrant. They're one of the easier ones to repair. We're going to remove the bonnet, the upper mechanism, remove the operating nut. We've already checked to make sure the isolation valve is off so we don't have a small catastrophe. And so we're going to get started. I'm going to get a hammer and punch. You should wear your safety glasses when doing this. Prevents you getting damage to your eyes. These are just little drive lock pins that go in there. Now we'll get a screwdriver to remove it. Watch when you're doing this because you can pinch your hands and you end up with a blood blister. Invert your lid onto the ground. Remove your 2 pins. Put them in there so you don't lose them. And we'll go get a ratchet and take that apart. Not much to these hydrants. And this is where the operating bearing and where you service the equipment. If you don't want to do that, you can remove this nut and put in a greaser and grease it that way if you like. I prefer to do it this way, and I know it's done. Now we'll get a pipe wrench and remove the operating nut. And this will just spin off. This is the operating bearing here. This one's been well serviced already, but this is the operating bearing for in here. And there's another one down in here. It's a nylon one. The operating bearing looks very similar to this. It's for a Canada Valve. There's different widths. There's for McAvity's about this width. Canada Valve's a little wider. This is for a Concord Daigle, but I don't have one for this one. But we'll service it and show you what we do. Service it, it's about the same as doing a McAvity, or any of the hydrants are very similar. Make sure you grease the threads. Make sure you grease the operating bearing seat. Make sure you do the bearing itself and the race. Do the threads. Put it back together. And the reason for this is just it's easier, and the fire department, when they get here, this is all free of rust and that, and so is that it operates a little easier. Just put a little anti-seize on there to prevent them from rusting in, so it's easier to get them out next time. Makes your job a lot easier with an impact. Mark where the holes are for the bonnet so it's easier for you to find them. I usually just use my jackknife, or you can use a felt pen. And that way you know where the holes are when it's time to put the pins in. They gotta go in that little hole. When you put the bonnet on, it covers it. That's about all there is to fixing a Canada or servicing a Canada Valve hydrant. It's one of the simplest ones to fix. You need a grease gun, 3/4 inch wrench, hammer and a punch. Thank you.